Hello, my name is Zach Rissy, Product Specialist with New Leader Manufacturing. And in this video, we are going to do a detailed walkthrough on how to build a profile with the NL5000 G5. From our main run screen, we're going to go into the wrench, profile management, and then at the bottom of the page here where you see our spinners with the 16 sections underneath it, we're going to tap that, and that brings us into our profile page. Just a quick overview of the profile page. Here at the top, we have our drop down. So if you click that, you can see all the profiles that have been created. We have the ability to build and save up to 25 profiles. You can see here at the bottom, we are at 18 out of 25. The profile we have selected, here's the name of the profile, the rate that we tested when creating this profile, and then some settings here. So 800 RPM for spinner speed, 16 mile per hour, 90 feet. Just kind of gives you a general summary of that profile. On the left-hand side, if we want to add a profile, we're going to hit the plus button. If you want to edit the current profile that you have active, you're going to hit the keyboard. And if you want to delete any, you're going to hit the delete button. Like I mentioned earlier, we are going to do a walkthrough on how to build a profile. So we're going to hit the plus. Now I'm going to walk you through how I typically build a profile and how I would like to build a profile with a typical blend. And I'm just going to do a fall P&K blend as an example. Now, I am going to test out of bin 1. I'm going to pre-blend this product at the elevator. So that way I'm just throwing the pre-blended product in bin 1. So that's how I'm going to walk through this example. We need to activate not only bin 1, but also bin 2. Even though we're only applying just out of bin 1, we want to activate both bins to create the profile. We'll go ahead and put the product density in there. So if it's pre-blended, we'll probably be somewhere in that 64 pound range. And again, this is just for example purposes. I'm going to go ahead and just duplicate that in bin 2 because I have to put something in there. It's now going to allow me to go to the next page. Notice we do have fields here for crush strength and SGN. Those are for note purposes. If you so choose to use those tools and you want to keep that or keep records of that and have it attached to your profile, by all means use that if you would like, but it's not required. So we're going to go to the next page. Starting spinner speed, application speed, and spread width. If you've done any spread pattern testing in the past, you probably have some settings that you kind of like that you want to start with. And that's what you're going to put in here. So spinner speed, I'm going to start with 775. Application speed, this is the speed I like to run in the field. I'm going to say 18 miles an hour. One of the worst things you can do is spread pattern test at 10 mile an hour and then go drive at 20 mile an hour in the field. So just make sure this is as applicable as it can be, real world scenario. And then spread width, I would like to see, let's say, 85, 90 feet, somewhere in there. So we're going to start here at 85. We're going to go to the next page. And again, we're going to do everything out of bin 1. So the minimum rate that I would apply with this blend, let's say, is 100 pounds to the acre. And let's say the average, and again, the average rate, that's going to be the higher end. So the higher end of this blend that I would apply is going to be 450. So we're between 100 pounds and 450. Now, notice at the bottom, it is not going to let me proceed in the wizard until I put something in bin 2. Okay, so for it to allow us to be able to do that, I am just going to put in 1 pound and 2 pounds. So now you can see it's going to let us proceed. We are still going to do our testing out of bin 1, and we're going to test this 100 and 450. Now you can see minimum rate calibration. We're going to open up that, and this is where we're going to actually do our spread pattern testing. Again, we're only going to turn bin 1 on. So you'll see bin 1 here, spinner speed here will be 775 when you turn your spinners on. Spinner assembly position, this is where we're going to start our spinner assembly position. Now at this lower rate, because remember we're in the minimum rate calibration, that was 100 pounds. So we're going to be somewhere probably around that 3.5. We're going to go ahead and turn bin 1 on. Spinners on. We've got our pans laid out, and we're going to go ahead and turn everything on and run through the pans right out of this screen. We're going to pick it up, see what we get. Yeah, it's 85 feet. Yeah, the profile looks good, or maybe we're throwing 90 feet, okay? Whatever the case, just make your adjustments in here, run over the pans again until you have the desired spread pattern that you're wanting to achieve. Once you get that, you're going to accept it, and then this higher rate is now going to appear. You're going to go into that higher rate and test again. Notice that the spinner speed and your width is locked in. The only thing we're changing in this screen here is the spinner assembly position. Remember, it's a higher rate. We're doing 450 pounds now. So higher rate, higher volume out the back. We're going to need to be farther rearward with that spinner assembly position. So instead of being 3.5 inches, we're going to be somewhere, I would probably start around 2.2. Again, turn bin 1 on. You'll see 450 pounds here that you're applying, and you'll see a spinner speed of 775. Run over the pans until you have the desired pattern. Once you do, you accept it. And now you can kind of see a little bit of what we've got here on our profile. The minimum rate, we're at 3.5. At that higher rate, we're at 2.2. Spinner speed, 775, 18 miles per hour at 85 feet. Next page gives you another calibration summary. And then the page after that allows you to name it, and it always is going to default to calibration 1, calibration 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. So just simply click in there, and then you can name it whatever you want. We're going to go ahead and name it P&K, because that's what we were doing, was just default P&K. Accept it. Accept it again. And then when you go to your drop down, you can scroll all the way down and you can see P&K. If you select it and then press enter, it's going to pull over your profile. So you can see we tested 100 to 450 pounds, 775, 18, 85 feet. You can see that all right here. To activate that profile, you're going to hit set active. As soon as you hit set active, you're going to back out of this screen here. I'm not going to do it in this example, but as soon as you back out of this screen and go back to your main run screen, you will then see on your main run screen P&K and 85 feet. So that is how to create a profile and activate that profile.